I feel fat and gross. How do you guys feel?
I feel the same way every day.
Nice.
I feel
Yeah.
increasingly
Nice.
fat and gross. Yeah.
Just every day.
Gotta
just gets
love
worse
getting
and worse.
older.
Yeah, to cope with it, I have a mimosa that I've been working on since this morning, but I think I'm going to finish it during this podcast.
Ooh.
I had some
There you
comfort
go.
food. I bought some pizza. Made me feel better.
Oh.
And worse at the exact same time.
Yep. That'll do it to you. I
Mm-hmm.
made some like seared pork chop with green beans and pasta.
Ooh.
This is pretty good.
That
It's pretty
sounds
good,
delicious.
but I feel like crap right now.
Oh.
I ate way too much of that. So, hello everyone. This is the Digicast. We are a video game / food aficionado podcast.
We're here for your health and for your games.
Yeah, we're trying to increase that quality of life.
That's
wink,
right.
wink.
Lenny face.
That's how I transition. How you doing, Scott Lee, lover boy?
Oh, doing pretty good. I would like to remind everyone that if they want to submit questions to us, to do it through ask.fm/digicades, because we did get a fair number of questions this week that we'll be answering later, and so if you want us to answer any questions you have gaming related, that's the best place to do it. But I'm doing fantasticals.
Good. I didn't really actually ask Nathaniel how you're doing. So how are you doing, Nady boy?
Well, the beginning of the day was a little rough, but it's been much better now. Not going to go into
Good.
what happened.
Glad to hear that.
But yeah, I'm doing pretty well now. Pretty hype
Well,
right
good. Actually, I have one question that I actually want to go ahead and bring up now. Usually we do this at the end, but I think this one's actually really interesting, and I'm interested to see what you guys have to say on it. So we'll just pop open with this, and then we'll get to the actual video game stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Matthew S., that is all I see here. He says, "Is there anything you guys regret throughout your YouTube careers?" I thought this was interesting. I'll let
yeah.
Nathaniel start. I
Okay.
gotta think about it for a second.
So, yeah. See, when you do YouTube for a long time, you're going to do a lot of stupid things. So, I guess, like, when I really first started, I used to get really offended when people would critique me because I didn't understand that most people weren't just blindly hating my content. They were just trying to improve my content. I took that the wrong way. I got triggered, so to speak. That's something that you just kind of learn over time. You know, if you're going to do YouTube, you have to be able to take criticism. If you can't, don't do this job.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's there's a couple other like really small mistakes that I can think of, but that's like the biggest thing is, I mean, even like the past couple of months, I've actually gotten some commentary videos made about my content. They weren't like just, trolly made by a 12-year-old. They're really well done, professionally done commentary videos critiquing my content. And it was admittedly hard to watch, but at the same time, it was a really good thing because I think it has helped me improve even more. So that's really, I'd say that's the biggest thing. Yeah, that's basically the biggest mistake I've made.
Mine would have to be, I regret not actually figuring out what I truly want to do ahead of time. Because I am a very impulsive person. I have a tendency to just jump right onto something the second I think about it, and I'm like, okay, cool, I got all these ideas, I'm just going to shoot it out, I'm going to see what happens. And that's a terrible thing to do on YouTube sometimes whenever you're trying to build an audience, because I have gone from doing actual like live news videos to just doing straight up gameplay videos of doing speedruns and stuff like that. Then I transitioned into doing commentaries. Then I went from that, I started doing a little bit of podcasting. I also went back to do like the vloggy style news videos. Then I did Nintendo histories. Then I also like did some more podcasting. And then I also did like Assault on Friendship with John.
Mm-hmm.
And I did more gameplay videos. And I've done a lot. And now I'm doing movie reviews. And this is what I want to do. So I've done things. And I should have had my head on straight sooner. That's my regret.
It can be. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
I was just going to say, by the way, Assault on Friendship was awesome, and I really enjoyed it. I know that it was not received quite as well as some of your other stuff, but that was actually one of my one of the things I liked that you did You know, back before I came on the channel. That
Yeah, it was really cool.
Oh, I had a blast.
Yeah.
Like I loved making it. I mean, I had so much fun making it. It's just, it was a lot of work, and there was like barely any reception on it. I mean, you know, we're talking like 30, 40 hours possibly into one video.
And that's
Right.
the
when it was all
problem.
said and done.
That's the problem with original content. I mean, if nobody knows about it, then nobody is going to search it. So it's really
So
hard
true.
to try to make original content, even though that's what people are always asking for. Give me something original. But what gets the views? Reaction videos, top 10s, you know, stuff along the
Oh
lines
yeah,
of that.
like cringy, clickbaity shit gets it.
The 100
Not the
layers
stuff-
challenge.
yeah.
It's an, oh my god, the newest trend. Have you guys seen any of that? Like the 100 layers.
what was it?
People are doing these weird 100 layers challenge. Like the biggest one is 100 layers of cum. It's not actual cum, it's fake. But yeah, now there's like 100 layers of pizza on someone, 100 layers of Skittles, 100. It's so stupid.
Oh my, what is, why?
Because-
There's no
because
substance or
views.
meaning to that.
Because views. That's pretty
So
much why.
that's actually
God damn it.
that's actually one of my questions for both of you guys. Actually, is you know, like how do you especially in Nathaniel's case, like how do you balance kind of like your internal creative drive to create original stuff and stuff that
Oh, that's
you're
so
really
hard.
passionate about versus what you know actually does well? Because for me, I go back and forth between being really disturbed by the fact that like certain things are just gonna, like, I kind of know when something is gonna bomb or not, and I know that based on whatever's trending at the time, and unfortunately that is kind of the way that like this stuff is usually driven. Although at the same time, like kind of on the point of like receiving criticism, what I have found is I actually got over like taking criticism a long time ago, but then my problem was I didn't like listen to criticism. It didn't bother me, but the other problem was that I didn't really take any of it into account and use it to improve whatever it was I was doing. And I've done a number of things. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I used to do like a lot of like movie related projects before doing YouTube stuff, which if any of you have ever wondered like where did I come from and how do I like automatically know how to do video editing and stuff, it's because I spent like 5 years doing failed movie projects and stuff. I had a documentary I worked on that never saw the light of day, and I had a
Those are hard to put together, dude.
yeah, and I had
Documentaries, those
an
much time.
online show that like went nowhere and totally bombed like really hard. I won't say the name of it, but people who know me know what it is. Anyway,
Oh, I need that.
You need to tell us.
After the show.
I can tell.
Mom's the word.
I'll tell you after the show. Of course, now everyone's gonna ask. But anyway, the point is though is that like, you know, when I came on to Digicades, like the big thing for me
It's gonna be a porn. It's gonna be a steamy, dirty porn,
It's-
and you know
it's-
it.
it's-
I'm ready. I'm gonna get popcorn. I'm ready.
It's not, and everyone always says that whenever you tell them that you make movies, which is really weird. But
It's not on live podcast. It's not. But when it's over, it's gonna be dirty, and I'm gonna have layers of cum on me.
Oh god.
when I came
100
to Digicades,
players.
what
100 layers
what
of
I
Scott's
learned was
jizzy juice
Okay,
bomb.
let Scott talk.
is that you
Oh my gosh.
have to give people what they want and what they're looking for. And so, like, when people, like, I've had a few people who are kind of awful, by the way, who are basically like, you know, you should just go do Gamefinity on your own channel, or like they say like, oh, I don't like the direction that the channel's taken, and like I'd rather you guys just go do separate things and blah blah blah. But the thing is that like Gamefinity is not something I would do outside of Digicades for a number of reasons, but like when I sat down to do like the very first few videos of Gamefinity, I asked myself like, what do people actually want to hear? Like, what do they want to listen to? What are they actually interested in? And I think if you ask yourself that as a content creator, that's how you'll actually have like some level of success, especially if you're looking to have financial success. Like, you really have to deliver what audiences are looking for, and you can't just do necessarily like whatever you want and expect it to be popular. You just can't.
Well, I think not only that, like obviously you should listen to your audience, but there is a limit to what we're going to do. So like people will request like, dozens and dozens of top 10s, and like 80% of the requests I'm not interested in doing, but I will do, the small fraction of top 10s that I'm interested in. So that's just another thing to add.
I believe that I am the smallest YouTuber that has had the most requests to go back and do what I used to do. Can I hold that crown? I'm pretty sure that I hold that crown.
Dude, people still ask me to make the Frustration series return, still to this day, after I canceled that series like 2 years ago.
Oh, I certainly bet.
Yeah.
Like the amount of people who still will not accept the fact that I don't want to talk. I don't want to do the quack. I don't want to do Assault on Friendship. I don't want to make gameplay videos. Like this is the gaming stuff I want to do, and I want to talk about movies and TV shows, and that like people just do not understand that. And I'll be honest, like I get that to a point, but there's a point where you just stop caring. And there's a point where you stop requesting things when you know it's not going to happen, because constantly burning something into someone's brain like doesn't help your case.
Yeah.
So that's just, yeah.
But yeah, games. We should talk games.
Let's talk about games. Let's talk about something happy. I was about to go somewhere that I didn't need to go. So, all right. I don't really have much to say about this other than the fact that Final Fantasy 15 is going down the poop chute some more. It's going to be open world for the first half. So I'm sure all the Final Fantasy fans like me are going to be nice and accepting of that. Probably not.
Open world for the first half? What do you mean?
Because Final Fantasy 13 was garbage and it was dumpster baby trash. And I don't want to see this game go down the same hole. Do you guys even really care about Final Fantasy?
I've never played Final Fantasy.
The only Final Fantasy game I was super, super into, and it was also like the only PS1 game that I played really hardcore back in the day, was Final Fantasy VIII. And that game is so ridiculously long, and I to this day, I never beat Final Fantasy VIII, but I loved it. Like, I thought it was so great. But I've followed on the surface kind of what's happened over time with the IPs. But the thing is like every new Final Fantasy game, like the plus and the negative of it is that when they come out with a new Final Fantasy game, it's an opportunity for them to do something brand new, because they kind of I feel like that should be kind of the idea of each Final Fantasy game, is you're doing something new every time.
Definitely.
But the downside to it is you're doing something new every time, and that means they can also destroy it and ruin it as well. So
oh, absolutely. Like and this has kind of been a running theme pretty much every episode, I feel like, but it's okay to make changes to a franchise when it's like been well received in the past and when it's balanced well. But Final Fantasy 13 didn't do that well. I mean, it didn't. It was linear. It was like a hallway the entire time. And then you got to the point where it is open world and the game's like basically done. And you had like a lot of side quests you can do. And I'm so worried that's what's going to happen with this. But at least the structure of this, I feel like they're learning from that, and they're putting all the open world elements like every other Final Fantasy game like at the first half and the beginning of this game. So whenever it gets down to like the gritty, like nitty gritty of it, and you're like really into the story and you want to pump your way down that like hallway to finish it and beat it, that's whenever like I don't mind as much, but I just felt the need to say this. But basically what the main director said to Famitsu, he said the entire game structure for Final Fantasy 15 consists of both open world and linear parts. The first half's, oh my god, I can't talk right now. The first half keeps going as an open world, but the story in the second half is led by a linear path. So I'm not going to completely reject this, because I don't hate the change. I hated it in 13, but I want to give this game a chance, because everything I've seen makes me splooge. And I want it.
I feel like I feel like you really shouldn't mix linear and open worlds in one game. Like that's just I don't know. Like my gut, just on the surface, just hearing the words of that, it kind of feels like that's just a bad idea to do. Like I don't know. I think you should go
like
full linear or full open world, but I don't think you should mix it.
They kind of did that.
I think if the linear parts are done tastefully and they don't, and it's not literally like 50-50, like 50 half, or the half of it is open world and the next half is going to be linear. If you split it up and you like weave it in there intricately, I think it could work. But I don't know. Like from this quote, I don't really know what to. I'm not going to read too much into it because I'm not going to be one of those like creepy like basement dweller gamers that freak out over every little quote. And I'm sorry if you're one of those, but well.
I think it's fair to be skeptical about that though. You know, just like I said, like just from the sound of it, I feel like there's just so much that can go wrong with that kind of approach.
Yeah. Yeah, I really didn't have a whole lot to say. I mean, it's funny at this point because that game has been in development for over 10 years.
Are you
and
serious?
It's just like, it just come out already.
This is Duke Nukem length right here.
It's what?
It's been in development as long as like Duke Nukem Forever was.
Yeah, exactly. Like I became a man in the time that this game was in development. It's been a long time. My nads have dropped, and it's been a long time.
And I became a man-child during the time of that game's development. So
I still have time for that. That'll happen when Kingdom Hearts 3 finally comes out. I'll be a dirty man-child.
Yeah. We'll all be grandfathers by the time Half-Life 3 comes out.
I wish will Valve just come out and say that game is not in development?
Here's the thing.
No. I think it is in development.
Here's the thing with Half-Life 3.
Fan base.
I think I know why they haven't released Half-Life 3 yet. What they're going to do is Valve is going to wait until Steam is about to crash and burn, and then boom, Half-Life 3. It'll save Steam.
I don't think they're just going to save it as like a plan B for Steam. I don't think that's why they're taking so long to.
That game will not live up to any sort of hype.
Well,
like you realize that, right? It's not good.
Yeah,
people expect it to be the Jesus of video games, and it won't.
People have talked about that, but the thing is that I totally can understand why Valve would keep it under wraps, and I think there may be something to like the rumors about how maybe they are developing it, but if they are, it's probably with like a very small team, and that like they probably wrote the original story outline a long time ago and all this stuff, but. I think it's also true that the only reason they would come out with that game is to show off something brand new and groundbreaking in gaming the same way that Half-Life 2 accomplished a lot of those things that it did. And so my theory is that probably around the time that VR is like needing it's going to start to become more mainstream, and it's going to need a killer game to make it truly groundbreaking. That's when we might see something like Half-Life 3 come out.
Feeling Half-Life VR.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
So.
Yeah.
You know what they should do? They probably should make it a multiplayer shooter for a handheld and give it chibi art style, because that's what the Half-Life is missing.
I think they should do a Half-Life 3 handheld version, and they should do a Metroid Prime Federation Force art style for Half-Life 3, so that everybody has like these really giant heads, and like I
like how you just reiterated what I just said.
They should probably just scrap the game and make DKR2. That's what they're gonna do instead.
I think that's what they should do. Actually,
Yeah,
Valve would do an
Valve should make
amazing
DKR2.
job on DKR2. I'm not even kidding. That sounds amazing.
Oh, I would be so down for that. I would actually be really down if they would make a Splatoon. I think that would be good.
Yeah.
I know they won't, but that would be good.
I still play Splatoon.
I played Splatoon for like a week when it came, or like shortly after it came out, and then I kind of haven't touched it since. But it was enjoyable while I played it for that week. But you know what?
I wanted to love it more than a free-to-play smartphone game, but I just didn't.
That game,
and I hate that.
That game really reminds me, though, that like Nintendo totally can and should do more new IPs, and like why haven't they? That's what Splatoon makes me think about.
It's crazy because before Splatoon, their last new IP was Pikmin, which was over like 10 years ago.
And Pikmin, I don't know what Jacob thinks of it, but I think I freaking love Pikmin.
Don't care.
I haven't gotten to play like Pikmin 2 or 3, but I played Pikmin on the GameCube and I loved it.
I have an immense amount of apathy for the Pikmin franchise. I think it is the dullest looking thing. I mean, I respect people who play it. You do you, as I will always say, but that game, I personally don't see why anyone would want to play it.
Have you ever played it before?
Oh yeah, I played Pikmin 1 and 2. I mean, it was like okay. I just thought it was really dull. But again, like it's just not for me. That's fine. You would think that Bayonetta 2 would be for me because I love pumping heavy action type games. But Bayonetta 2 I found to be a complete drag.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't even
yeah.
finish that actually. Like I got like 3 hours into Bayonetta 2 and then I was like, whatever.
It's the constant stopping and grading of my performance, I think, that annoyed me. But again, like I think that other games like do that the same and they don't bother me. I don't know what it is about Bayonetta. Like I don't know what it is about some of Platinum's games. Like they just annoy me. And I hate that because they make good kick-ass games and I want to like them. Like I wanted to love The Wonderful 101. That's the game that made me buy a Wii U, but I didn't like it that much. Like it was okay.
By the way, before we move on from Pikmin, I want to make sure that everyone listening to this, as well as you guys, know that a while back, and I'm sure you guys heard about this, Shigeru Miyamoto basically said Pikmin 4 has essentially been like done or close to done for a
yeah,
while.
It's an NX launch title.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be
and
a-
I'm sure
yeah,
it's going to be
exactly.
an NX launch title, although it has not officially been confirmed.
Actually,
but-
I'm pretty sure like a year ago they said it's and not to be a launch title, but it's definitely coming out on NX.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was still doing like news videos on games whenever that got announced.
Right.
Like that was confirmed to basically be nearing the end of development, and we have not seen a single thing about it on Wii U. So one
But-
can naturally assume it's going to come out to the NX.
You gotta remember, though, it's not outside the realm of possibility with Nintendo that at the last minute they'll decide that Pikmin 4 is no bueno the way that they did with Star Fox 2. And then all of a sudden, we'll just be without a new Pikmin game. And then the IP will suffer a horrible death.
Because that always works out well.
And
God, I love Nintendo.
But I want to say one other thing about Pikmin, because if I don't say this one thing about Pikmin, I have a bunch of people on Twitter that will hate me forever, and that's that the reason that Pikmin is so special, and I don't know if this applies to you or not, Jacob, but the reason that Pikmin is so special in my eyes is because, in my opinion, Pikmin was the very first game on a console that actually demonstrated that a real-time strategy mechanic can be done and be done well. And so
You're such an RTS fanboy.
Oh, I totally am. I get that, but like for reals though, I think that I think that there's things about Pikmin that are not done as well as they could be, and I actually think they need to make the game more difficult and have more things that you need to be taken care of. They need to put some challenge into that game, because I think it's a little bit too much trying to like introduce players very gently into real-time strategy, which is good, but like I think that they really need to go balls to the wall with it and be like, no, like we're gonna make Pikmin a serious hardcore RTS. We're gonna make it
Hardcore Pikmin.
That's right.
Did we just lose Nathaniel?
I'm here.
Oh, I heard like a beep or something. I didn't know if your phone. shut
Sorry,
off.
that was Siri like thinking that I was talking to it, but yeah, that was my phone.
Who talks to Siri? I don't talk to Siri.
You have an Apple phone.
I do not have an Apple phone. I have an Android.
No, I'm talking to Scott.
Oh.
I'm disappointed.
I do have an Apple phone, but
Apple
more-
phones aren't bad, honestly. I only upgraded to
Well-
Android because my Apple phone was RIP.
on
I
the-
wanted to
We'll
try
save
new
this. We'll save this for after. I don't want to get slammed in the comments for not talking about video games 100% of the time here.
Well,
So,
Jacob, but my
yeah.
question that I was going to ask you though, before Siri interrupted me rudely, is are you like completely like anti RTS, or like do you not like real time strategy games at all?
No, I just don't really care. To be perfectly honest, like I have no feelings for them. I'm just a cold, soulless bastard when it comes to RTS.
Because you do a little bit of PC gaming, right? Or at least you have, like in the past.
Yeah, I've done some. I mean, I just haven't for a while because of what we kind of talked about in the last podcast. But I mean, I got nothing against RTS. I mean, it's a perfectly fine genre. I mean, I know everyone out there doesn't give a shit about racing games, so I mean that's fine.
I really like
it's just not really for me.
I like racing games actually. Although I don't like.
It's just
Weirdly, I don't.
it's
I
the
don't,
constant burn.
I don't like stuff like Forza or like.
I'm not a
some
fan of
Need
the
for Speed
realistic
games.
racing games. They're so
Yeah.
boring. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, You're already seeing this every day driving. Forza, literally real life.
But I can hit cops. How dare you say that?
You can hit cops in real life if you really want to.
If I want to, but I can be a basement dweller badass and do it this way.
Well, you can do it in your imagination in real life if you're that desperate.
No, that's so boring. So boring. Seriously though, if you haven't ever picked up Need for Speed Most Wanted U, that game is really good.
Is it really?
If you're looking for some realistic type, if you're looking for some realistic type racing on the Wii U, like that is a perfect game in my opinion. There's so much to do, absolutely gorgeous, man. God, who are the developers of that? Start with a C.
Not Capcom.
No, it wasn't Capcom. No, oh my god. That's gonna drive me crazy. The developers of that game squeezed every ounce of power they could out of the Wii U, and I am like ashamed that I did not buy that game new when it came out. Ashamed. But we have kind of led ourselves into this. Let's talk about the NX, since we're on the teat here.
And because it's
rumored
internet
is for
law
life.
that we discuss the NX.
Yes, it is internet law. I'm gonna let Nathaniel start because I feel like he hasn't said a whole lot the past 20 minutes.
Ooh, which one? I don't even know which rumor to start with. Give me a topic. Give me a rumor.
Well, I have one.
What about, I don't know.
There was 4 this week. So
how about we start with the idea that the NX controllers, which are probably going to be detachable controllers, they may end up being the replacement or the thing that phases out the previous Wii remote. You want to say anything?
Please God.
I did see that. Well, I'm pretty sure that the president of Nintendo did already confirm that they are killing the Wii brand, as soon as Wii U's done with. We're never going to see another Wii remote compatible with anything ever again. So.
You know where you can hear more about that? On the Quack.
Ooh. Quick, nice plug-in.
Talked about that a long time ago.
Nice plug-in.
But, basically the rumor I had pulled up is... just kind of talking about the screen size and those force haptic feedback.
The force haptic feedback is kind of interesting because that sounds like something that would be really expensive, but Nintendo usually doesn't go with the more expensive consoles. They're always the cheapest on the market. So if they actually implement something like that, I feel like their console's going to be a bit more spendy, possibly.
Yeah, maybe. They said that there is a prototype here about, I think Emily Rogers leaked this. Yes, she did. They said that there's an NX prototype. It has a 6.2 inch 720p multi-touch touchscreen. If that is true, then that means it fixes 2 major problems I have with the Wii U gamepad: is the resolution is dicks and tits, and it actually has multi-touch.
Yeah,
so
I never even realized that until I read that rumor. I'm like, oh yeah, the Wii U gamepad isn't multi-touch. You can only do single touch, which is ridiculous.
It's also not 720p.
You know why
it's really bad,
right? It's because that's cheap, and Nintendo loves doing cheap stuff.
I know, but still, if you're gonna make a tablet, you gotta make your screen really good. Honestly, their screen is very good, just in general. I mean, you can use it for, you can use the little pen thing, or you can use your finger, and it's very fluid, very accurate. But still, why wasn't multi-touch a thing?
I like the part in Super Mario 3D World where you can blow on the gamepad and then things happen on the screen.
Wow.
I tried so hard to hold that. I don't know about you guys, but I'm an avid Art Academy drawer.
Are you really?
I always win the contests that Nintendo puts out on the Twitters.
I've never tried it. Have you tried Art Academy? Seriously though?
God, no. I hate the gamepad. I hate that thing. I
actually like it.
I don't hate it. It's just, I come home and I just want to relax, play a game, and I want to play Star Fox Zero so bad. And I'm going to sound like an entitled prickhead right here, but it's I don't want to look down at another screen. I just want to chill and use as little of my brain as possible and look at just my TV, my beautiful, nice, full HD TV, and not the shitty sub
Wait,
subpar
is
HD
this
screen
you
on the
actually
gamepad.
admitting though that you don't like the 2-screen play in Star Fox Zero?
It's like I don't like. I want to. I genuinely want to, but like I don't dislike it, but I just don't love it.
Well, it depends
I mean,
on
the game as a
mood
whole,
you're
I like
in.
the game.
I mean, if you're in a more energetic mood, then you're probably not going to mind as much. But, like, if you're really tired and let down, like you said, you know, why put in the extra effort to have to look at, you know, both screens at the same time? You know, actually, I
And I
watched...
mean, normally I don't mind. Like whenever Color Splash comes out, and I inevitably buy it because I'm probably going to, and I'm going to hate myself when I do. But
you
I'm
know,
not gonna.
it's your own fault if you end up buying it. Like, you're literally just giving... you're
Well,
giving Nintendo
yeah.
the incentive, hey, they want this game because they bought it. We're going to make more just like this.
Well, let me tell you something, Nathaniel.
What's that?
I'm actually getting married that same weekend that Color Splash is coming out, so I am going to be forced.
You're going to ruin
not
your marriage.
pre-order that game.
Why? Don't.
What'd you say?
I said don't play Color Splash during your wedding. That would not be a good idea.
That's what I was getting to.
There you go.
I am absolutely 100% forced to not pre-order that game, so I will indeed have to wait for reviews to come out, and I will read every single negative review through and through before I go out and, again, inevitably buy the game because I'm a stubborn asshole.
You see,
And I'm hoping other people don't buy it so I can be like the one out of the 30,000 people who own it, and then I can bitch online about it for the next 10 years until they make the next Paper Mario game.
we know that
Color
Jacob
Splash.
is resisting though because he knew he had to get married, but he didn't know when he had to get married. So to figure that out, he said, "When's Color Splash coming out? I'm going to get married on that day so that I can resist buying Color Splash for just a little bit."
Smart move.
I will say though, Color Splash. The more I watch of it, the more, and I know people are going to be mad when I say this. Probably, well, some will and some won't. The more accepting I'm becoming of it, and the more interested I'm getting in the game itself. I still think it looks like shit, to be honest, because Sticker Star was honestly a broken game at times. And if those issues are fixed, cool. That's good. It looks like the story is going to be at least mildly more entertaining and interesting this time around. Those Rescue V Toads, I need a poster of all of them now. Nintendo, where can I pre-order? Pre-order bonus, please. I will pay for it. I will buy Color Splash if I get a Rescue V poster.
I actually, at this point, I have lost track of whether or not Jacob is serious or not.
It's hard to tell.
I really cannot read the if he's oozing with sarcasm at the moment. I actually can't tell.
I've done it. I've got it. But seriously, I want a mural of Rescue V Red on my wall, and my ceiling, and my bed.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'll get you one.
But yeah, that went places that it didn't need to go. What were we talking about before? NX? Yeah,
NX
go
rumors.
Nathaniel. What's another rumor you got?
We are all just so bored with NX rumors at this point, though. Let's be honest, because
I'm bored.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause,
so sick of them.
just please just announce it. Tell us what it is.
Well,
be really
here's
clear in your marketing, please. Thank you, and let's just hear what it is already.
I mean, a lot of people are speculating that this thing will be announced by September or at the very, very latest October. Because, I mean, Nintendo can't be that stupid. They have to have a little bit of time to build up some hype, at least 5 to 6 months. So they've got to announce it sometime soon. At the very least, just show us the freaking console. You don't have to show us that many games, but show us what it is.
See, now when you say that they have to show it,
They should.
you're forgetting that this is the company that thought that making Diddy Kong Racing 2 and then canceling it was a good idea.
Oh my god. You need to stop. Calm down.
But seriously, Nintendo, I have reached the point where I am done trying to predict literally anything they do. I can't.
I don't believe anything anymore.
They're just, I mean, I applaud their secrecy. I mean, they're like Apple in that regard, but at the same time, they do the wackiest, craziest shit that I've ever seen in the gaming industry sometimes. So I cannot predict them. And I'm not even going to try.
At least you can predict how unpredictable they are. And you can also, in my opinion, what you know about Nintendo is that they are going to live or die by how they differentiate themselves. And so if Nintendo goes to rock bottom, it will be because they refused to ever let go of being that company.
Actually, wasn't there a quote like a long time ago from someone who worked at Nintendo saying that if they ever get to the point where they can't make consoles, like they're letting their IPs die, like they don't want them to be third party. I remember reading that somewhere.
I don't blame them.
There were some people.
They have a lot of pride. So
we had people talking about that in the comments. I think for I don't remember if it was the first podcast or whatever, or it might have been one of my Gamefinity videos. I don't know, but yeah, we've had people talking about that in the comments and stuff. And I don't believe that for a second. I think that like ultimately at the end of the day, they're a company. They answer to shareholders. They're gonna license out their IPs if they have to, and like the Mario and Zelda and Metroid and all that stuff is gonna live on.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly don't think they're going to do that either, just because, like, how stupid and dumb would you look if you actually just let your company lay down and die because you had too much pride?
Yeah.
I mean, really.
They're not going to do that.
Yeah, like, that's absurd. Even if it came straight from Nintendo, even if that's 100% confirmed, like, I still don't believe that would ever happen. Think of all the people that would lose their jobs because you're too damn proud to share your IP with other systems.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, okay, I'm going to make a pact here on live recording saying that I don't want to talk about the NX until it gets revealed.
Yeah. you know what we'll do? When it's finally revealed, we're just going to spend an hour talking about the reveal. We'll do that instead.
Oh, yeah, there will definitely be an episode where it's just NX. When we get something that is confirmed on that thing, other than the fact that Nintendo makes it, the fact that I will have Diddy Kong Racing 2, the fact that I will probably cry of happiness, something, like, just something. I need something confirmed on that console already. I'm done. I'm moving on.
It's too bad that we weren't doing this when Breath of the Wild was going on at E3, and we could have done an entire podcast talking about Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
Well, don't you worry, son. After we break, I'm going to talk about some questions, and there's one from Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Yep. But this is something I found to be funny. Did you guys hear about the PS4 Slim?
No.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
I've not.
So basically what has happened is PS4 Slims have been coming out. There was a UK distributor, I don't remember the name of their company, but they were basically listing these things on their website. People could buy them too. I mean, the PS4 Slim hadn't got announced, nothing. There was no leak. Basically, this website accidentally listed it. People were ordering it, thinking that, okay, if this is a 3D printed model, I'll send it back, whatever. No, people got these, and they're actual PS4 Slims, and Sony hasn't even announced that this thing's going to be made.
That is as hilarious as that is. I mean, it's pretty obvious that we were going to get a slim version of the PS4. But,
it's totally obvious.
But still,
it's just the fact.
Yeah, the fact that people can actually order them. That's insane. Yeah. How do they let something like that slip?
They eventually had to take down the listing because Sony finally got to the point where they're like, okay, we have to stop this now. But people are still buying them off of eBay in the UK. People have these in their house. They're working. You can get online. You can download stuff off the PSN. You can use it.
That's so funny.
It's fantastic. But the best part about this is Sony is saying that this thing isn't real. So, yeah.
Oh, please. Enough of that PR crap.
Yeah, I'm really not a huge fan of how this thing looks either. It's it's kind of stumpy looking.
Really? I haven't seen a picture of it. I just read an article about PS4 Slim.
It's a smaller, more square-like PS4, and it's not as slanted, and the corners are rounded.
What I can't wait for is the Wii U Classic Edition, which will be an emulation console that will not allow you to play original Wii U games or use the Wii U gamepad, the original gamepad. Instead, it'll just be a gamepad that has old Wii U games on it, and you can buy it for $60, and it'll come out at Christmas time, I'm sure, sometime like a decade from now.
And maybe they'll patch Star Fox Zero, and I don't have to use two screens. Maybe it'll happen.
I don't think that's ever going to happen at all.
Maybe it'll happen.
I don't think so. I don't think that will ever happen.
Maybe it'll happen.
Ever.
Wishful
Maybe it'll
thinking.
happen.
I don't think it will ever happen.
No, it won't. It will never
Shigeru
happen.
Miyamoto is like George Lucas and will decide that Star Fox Zero shall forever be doomed to use both the gamepad and the television.
So, we got some good ones this week. We already did one at the beginning. I was just gonna kind of use this to blend in something Scott really wants to talk about. He said, "Hey Jacob, I saw on Twitter that you have a PS4 now. What are your favorite PS4 games?" Well, currently I've been playing just a lot of indie games. I'm playing some Batman Arkham Knight. Batman Arkham Knight is sick. Until Dawn is really good also. I'm a massive horror fan, and it finds the right blend of cheese and horror that I've been looking for. Really enjoying that. Also enjoying killing Emily because she's a terrible character, and I take great pride in watching her fall off of a mountain. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then cool. I'll just relish in my own violence. But I also have, well, I almost have. I'm about to buy it. Axiom Verge for the PS4. I'm about to get it. Scott has been wanting to talk about this for a while, so go.
Yeah, so Axiom Verge is coming out for the Wii U on 9/1, September 1st, and it is like way overdue because it's been on PS4 for like forever now. It's been on PC for probably even longer. But it's like kind of like, okay, since they shut down AM2R and like they gave us Federation Force, this is kind of your last hope to play like a legitimate Metroid style game in 2016. And if you want to play one on a Nintendo console, your chance is Axiom Verge on September 1st, and that's pretty much as good as it's going to get. But it's a very well-reviewed game on Metacritic. I think it's at like an 8 or 84. And I think it actually...
I'm very excited to play
I think
it.
it's 10 out of 10 on Steam, last I checked. It's like...
Wow. Yeah, I am very, very excited to play that game. I'm debating on getting it on the PS4 or the Wii U, but I actually might go Wii U because I don't remember the guy's name. I don't remember anything apparently, but the guy who made it,
His name's Tom Happ.
Yeah, okay, cool. He said that the Wii U version actually is what he thinks to be the superior version out of everything. So that's cool.
I wonder why.
Well, if you hold on one second, I have a screenshot of his quote because I prepared.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me find it. I prepared. In my opinion, it's the best version, and there's a couple of things that stand out about it. First of all, it's the only console version that has a leaderboard functionality for speedrunners. There's a dedicated speedrun mode in all the versions of the game, but if you get a good time, you basically have to record it yourself somewhere. On Wii U, you can compare yourself to the global leaderboard, which is very nice for Nintendo fans. The other primary benefit of the Wii U version is that you can always see the map on the gamepad. The whole theme of the game is exploration.
Oh, yeah.
So this game, compared to a lot of other modern Metroidvania games, does not lead you by the hand and tell you where to go next. There's no
pretty
arrows
cool.
that point, like next go here, Scott shut up. You constantly have to be checking the map to see what I've explored, what I have not explored yet. And so having that always on the gamepad makes it very easy to keep playing without disrupting the action. And of course, the last one you have the ability... Okay, I stop.
Okay, I get it.
So
I get it.
Wii U's really great. We get it. Yep.
Yeah.
Wii U version.
Basically, you got the map, off TV play, and you got that leaderboard mode. So, cool.
Hype.
Yeah, I actually might get it for that. I forgot about that. Next question. How excited are you guys for Breath of the Wild? What are your favorite aspects of the game so far? Let's keep this to mild spoilers because Jacob has not watched anything, just letting you two know.
Okay.
Okay, well, I guess all I'm really going to say is, I'm not the biggest Zelda fan. If you watched the last podcast, you'll know I'm just recently started to get into it. And this game, I'm honestly thinking that I'm going to be getting it on release date. And I've very rarely get games on release dates, but this looks absolutely incredible. And I guess what was the second part of the question?
What are your
favorite aspects of the game?
Favorite aspects? Just the fact that how modern it looks. Like it finally looks like, the Zelda franchise has matured a little bit, but it still retains that classic formula. You're still running around with, well, I'm not going to say too much because again, Jacob doesn't want me to spoil anything, but it still has a lot of the same elements.
I was just waiting for someone to blurt out like, Ganondorf's the main villain.
I mean, it's kind of like asking who's the villain going to be in Mario. A little bit.
Yeah. What do you think of Breath of the Wild?
Hey man, Vaati has been a villain in Zelda. Thank you. Majora.
Actually,
you.
in Mario on Ice, it was the Koopa King who was the main villain of Mario.
Dude, he has so much more character depth than Bowser.
Oh my gosh, man!
His arc in Mario on Ice is brilliant.
But back to Breath of the Wild, I love everything about Breath of the Wild that I've seen. I think it's going to be the most groundbreaking Zelda title since Ocarina of Time, and I remember Ocarina of Time very, very well because I was like in tears how happy I was as a kid when that game came out and I was playing it and seeing everything that it did. But Breath of the Wild is basically like that, but yeah, for 2016, as Nathaniel said, and it's going to be it's just going to be amazing. And you know what? It's basically, I know we talk about Metroidvania a lot lately, but it is like a Metroidvania game. And from what Nintendo has said about it, you don't have to. It's not very linear. Like you can play it in lots of different ways, and if you want, you can essentially just run. Like, well, not you won't necessarily survive, but you can essentially like run straight for the end of the game without having to go do certain things. So I'll kind of leave that. I mean, we don't really know much more beyond that, but what we do know is it's super open world, super dynamic. The environments are like we've never seen before. We see wildlife like we've never seen, and the environments. It's just they took everything and made everything that has ever been done in any Zelda game even better. And I just could not be more excited about it. I think it's like the best thing that Nintendo has done in years, and I can say that honestly, with confidence, and I'm not at all worried that I'm going to be disappointed like on any aspect of that game. I think it's going to be great.
Ditto. No, but really, yeah. Being as it is that I haven't really watched a lot of footage on it. From the trailer and from like I talked about that little clip last week on the Temple of Time. I'd have to say my favorite aspect of it is I finally get a game that Nintendo is fully embracing that lets me see Link shirtless, and I don't have to go to the dark corners of the internet and find those weird fan mods.
And don't forget, you can change Link's britches. You can put him in any britches you want to.
Oh, I bet I can use the gamepad to its full potential when I draw on his pants.
And you can play the whole game where Link is naked!
God.
Jesus.
But in all seriousness, I mean, I was kind of serious there. That is, I mean, let's be honest. Like, I actually am excited about that to a point because it's like, oh, Link has nipples. Didn't know that. Good to know. But basically,
you still don't really know if like he has genitals or not, though. I mean,
you know, we're gonna find out when we play.
He's just got to
get
a
a closer
gooch.
look.
He could be like an action figure where it's just kind of like flattened over, you know. In fact, he probably is, like, you know, in the polygons and such.
Too many polygons down. They just can't render. The Wii U does not have the power to render the amount of polygons to fit that John.
It doesn't have enough bits.
Yeah, not enough RAM. Can't handle that Link dick. But really, I think I'm just going to use this for the preview, by the way, for you, Nathaniel, this week.
That's great. I'm fine with that.
What was my actual answer? I thought I had an actual answer. I probably don't. I mean, it looks interesting. Like, I think I agree with you. It is one of the most notable and different and unique and best things Nintendo has done in a long time, in my opinion. In my opinion, it looks like a polygonal 3D remake of the original Zelda. I feel like that's the main mentality behind it.
This seems like it's the kind of feel they're going for, yeah.
Yeah, and like I kind of wished it was just called The Legend of Zelda, and that's what it was.
I wanted that
because
too.
imagining that world in like polygonal 3D would be really neat. I've always said that if Nintendo ever remakes Link to the Past and does it like that, that would probably be my favorite game of all time by a landslide. But I don't know. I mean, I am very intrigued by it. I don't think it's going to blow my mind, but I do think that I'm going to really enjoy that game when it comes out.
Well, I think your mind will be adequately blown, Jacob.
Adequately.
Adequate.
Adequately?
Yes, I do.
we'll do one more, and then we'll leave these two for next week, and we'll do one. I think Nathaniel, you said you had one.
Yeah, let me check real quick, see if there's anything good, because I haven't looked at the questions yet.
All right. While you do that, I'm gonna ask this one.
All right.
What game do you like that everyone else hates, and vice versa? Me, for that, God, I don't know if I have any.
Well, for
I
me,
have
it's
one.
Pikmin, obviously. No.
I know a respectable amount of people that like Pikmin. This has never been my thing.
No, actually, I gotta
kinda
think about this in all seriousness.
Do you have any idea, Nathaniel? You got one?
Yeah, I have a
Besides
game.
Sonic R?
Yes, actually. Honestly, I really like Sonic R. I don't know why.
How?
For that music, man. The music is so great. Like, it's so...
That
it's
doesn't
so
help.
It's so inappropriate to the game, but that just makes it more special. And honestly, I've played it so much that I'm used to the awful controls, so I can actually, like, speedrun the whole game in, like, less than an hour. I think I actually beat the whole thing. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I beat the whole game in like 20 minutes.
damn.
That's how good I am at it. I don't know why I like it, because it sucks, but that's my game.
Yeah, it is a really bad game.
Yeah.
I'll just be play. Hey, you know what? I think we all have those. Mine. I don't know if everyone hates this, but I don't hardly ever meet anyone that actually likes it. And mine would be 1080 snowboarding. I meet people they're like, yeah, it's okay. But I don't ever meet anyone.
You know, I
yeah,
feel
sorry.
like if I could just take the time, like if I could spend like a couple hours with the game and actually get used to the controls, I think I would like it more. But like, even for the top 10 and 64 games, I played that game for a good hour and a half, and like I could not get my handle on the controls. I was trying different boards and different characters. I just couldn't get accustomed to it for whatever reason.
Well, like you, Nathaniel, I am quite the aficionado when it comes to the music of that era. And
The music's great
my
in
God,
that game. Yeah.
Work Your Body is like the best song ever. Because you get in there, you get in that menu where you want to select a character, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go with Ricky Winterboard, and you got this menu
Rock
screen.
your
It's like,
body, rock your body.
work your body, work your body, work your get down.
It's so great.
And I'm so into it. I am so ready to freaking snowboard. And I pick Ricky Winterborn or Dion Blaster, which, by the way, these are the cheesiest names ever, and it's so glorious. I'm into it. Like, the fact that the very first level has this music where you have this chick who's just like, I like that bass. I like that bass. I like that bass. I like that bass. Here comes the boom. I like that bass.
Wow, you know that by heart. You know that really well.
The sad thing is, I can recognize that song because I played that freaking game for so long.
Ow.
So I have a game from the
My audio peaking.
I have a game from the SNES era that I think a lot of people hated. At least a lot of people that I knew personally hated. One of them was Dirt Tracks FX. I don't know if either of you guys ever played that game, but I knew a lot of
Never heard of
people who hated Dirt Tracks FX. I freaking loved that game. I played hours and hours of that game. And you know, there's actually like a lot of games that I can think of though where like it's not that everyone hates them or like everybody loves them or whatever or vice versa, but I know of just so many games that like just people just don't know about though.
I've never even heard of this game.
Yeah, Jacob, I want to say, well, it was one of the games that used the FX chip, but there was what was it? I think I asked you, Jacob, about Uniracers one time. You remember?
Oh, I did. I have played this.
I love Uniracers, man. Like that was.
I just looked up Dirt Tracks FX. Yeah, I have played this.
Oh, you have? Did you like it?
Yeah, I actually like it. I
Okay.
actually kind of enjoy it. It's got that so bad it's good feel for me.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I have played it. Like, it is very clunky, but it is fun. Like, it's interesting playing those like very minimal polygonal games back in the day for me. Like, I love Star Fox in that regard.
Well, yeah, but I think I don't know. I haven't met
Star Fox is good.
I haven't met a single person who was like Star Fox in the Super Nintendo. That sucked. And although I gotta admit the frame rate was terrible, but other than that, it was so great. And I think everyone.
Oh
would
yeah,
agree.
it's borderline unplayable in some instances, but otherwise, like, it's really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm good there.
That's good.
What's Nathaniel? What's the question you got?
Yeah, you know, I honestly, all the questions sucked. You guys need to come up with better questions next week.
All right, make it burn them, make them feel good.
Seriously, guys, give me good questions next week, please.
What, they ask you like how long your dick was or something?
Let's see. There was, is Link gay? What's the best and worst candy bar? Describe Pink Gold Peach positively. Those are my questions.
I'll talk about the best and worst. Oh my God, yeah. I want to hear Nathaniel describe Pink Gold Peach in a positive light.
I can't.
I need that.
I can't.
I need that.
No. You guys can attempt it, but it's not possible for me to do that.
I dig the curvature of her nose. I really do. When I see a healthy nose on a chick, I blow up. I blow up down there. I can't help it. It just comes out.
I like the way the pink gold is rendered on modern hardware.
I guess what I'd say is
the Wii U does handle that really well.
It really does.
Pink Gold Peach looks really good on the Wii U.
Looks really pink.
Honestly, the whole shine effect and the whole the shine effect on her does look very good, especially in stages like Rainbow Road, where that whole stage just like all the characters just glitter. So
tell me more, Nathaniel.
That's as much as I'm giving you. That's it. That's all you get. Right,
we just
ask that question.
We just need him to like say like 2 or 3 more sentences, and then we can edit together a little video to make it look like NB just loves Pink Gold Peach.
And then the background, it's gonna be me going, "I like that bass. I like."
I like that.
I really wish you guys would have seen me when I was doing that. I like have my hands out. I'm just like shaking my dick in my chest at the same time. Okay, I'm good. That's a good week. Yep.
That's a good way to end this.
Just cut out the first 45 minutes and just have the last part. That was great. All right.
Are we done?
Well, Nathaniel, if they enjoyed listening to you talk about Pink Gold Peach, where can they find more?
You can find me at NathanielBandy1 on Twitter. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube's channel. I do, top 10s, a lot of original content, and yeah, good shit.
And Scott, you do things too.
Yeah, Twitter at Scott Lee. You can also find me at ScottFreeCap, which is a alternate Twitter channel for my game development. You can also find up-to-the-minute updates as far as what I'm doing here on Digicades there, in ScottFreeCapital.com, which has all of the stuffs about my game and Digicades as well. Oh, and for Gamefinity, I am working on some new Gamefinity stuff because I know Jacob likes it so much. The next Gamefinity I'm working on has to do with real-time strategy games, so you guys can look forward to that.
Yay. Well, if you like me, you can always find me on Indie Jacob on Twitter. I'm on there daily because I try to post one thing a day at least.
On the daily.
On the daily, man. But yeah, I'm there, and I'm also here. If you like movie shit, you can follow me.
I still can't get over
Digicades.
that you promote yourself on your own channel. It's funny.
I will never stop.
Don't.
Anyway.
Don't.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we got this week, guys. Check back next week. We will have more stuff.
We're going to have a guest next week, actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
very,
God,
very big
this.
guest. If you want to leave what's the word? If you want to guess the guest, leave a comment below. Who do you think it's going to be? Honestly, none of you are going to get it. Like, just telling you.
But try
Probably
to
not.
get it, though.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I want to see your
Hit me with your best shot.
Yeah, hit me with your best shot. And as always, love that bass, and we'll see you next week.
Yes,
Bye,
and
guys.
Jacob wants you to go watch Stranger Things.
Yes.
Yes.
Bye,
Yeah,
everyone.
yes. Bye.
Bye-bye.